Good evening, board members and other staff members. I call this meeting to order. It is 6:02. Good evening. I'm Isidoro Nieto, President of the Weslaco ISD Board of Trustees. Please let the minutes reflect the notice that this board meeting has been posted online for the at least 72 hours as permitted by the suspended portion of the Texas Open Meetings Act as permitted by Governor Abbott. Although a quorum of trustees are not gathered in a central physical location, we do have a quorum of trustees in attendance at this meeting by video conference and telephone call. The board is meeting by the use of the platform of Google Hangout Meets and telephone transmission, which allows two-way communication for the members of the public during the public comments portion of the agenda. This meeting is being recorded and will be made available to the public in accordance with the law. As we would in any person meeting, members of the public who have followed the instructions or meeting notice for registering to speak during the public comment portion of the agenda will be called at the telephone number they have provided. All other board meeting procedures will adhere to board adopted procedures to the extent practicable. Today is May 11th, 2020, and the time is now 6:04. I will now call out the name of each trustee to determine if that person is present by telephone or by video conference. Is Mr. Patrick Kennedy yet here? Mr. Kennedy's connecting right now. Dr. Jaime Rodriguez?
Present via video conference.
Mr. Andrew Gonzalez? Not yet? He's connecting.
I'm present. Patrick Kennedy via video conference.
All right, Mr. Kennedy.
I'm on, Coach. Andrew.
Mr. Andrew Gonzalez, all right. Dr. Richard Rivera. Mr. Erasmo Lopez. Coach
Erasmo
Armando
Lopez
Cuellar.
here, present.
All right, Coach Armando Cuellar.
I'm here by video conference.
And Mr. Nieto, present. Dr. Rivera, will you unmute yourself, Dr. Rivera, and say present? All right, we will continue. Dr. Rivera will join in a few minutes, having a little bit difficulty. Opening prayer, Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, Mr. Oscar Riojas will be leading us in the invocation this evening. He is the Executive Director of Athletics and District Facilities. Mr. Riojas.
Thank you, Dr. Canales. Good evening. If we will please bow our heads. Loving and gracious God, you are indeed the giver of all good gifts, and we thank you today for all your blessings, for the success outcomes of our school events, and for all our students and staff members. We ask that you bless them, especially during these uncertain times due to the pandemic, as we continue to seek your wisdom, guidance, courage, and strength. Be with us in our deliberations and help us to be wise in the decisions we make for the good of all those who have placed their trust and confidence in our leadership. Give us insight to lead with integrity, that our decisions may reflect what is right and good. Help us to make decisions that are for the good of all. Dear Lord, grant us the humility to always seek your will in all that we do and say. All glory be to you, loving God, now and always, through Christ and the Holy Spirit, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Rojas. Pledge of Allegiance and Texas Pledge. Dr. Canales.
This evening, Dr. Sergio Garcia will be leading us in the pledges. Dr. Garcia.
Thank you, Dr. Canales. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now for the Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia.
Yes, sir.
Item number 5, awards of recognition. Dr. Canales.
We have several awards and recognitions this evening, and we do have a screen to share with everybody since we can't have our students and our teachers and our sponsors and our principals and everybody else in the audience. So we do have a PowerPoint. Allow me to open that and share it. And Mr. Robledo will be leading us through the awards and recognitions.
Thank you very much, Dr. Canales. Members of the board, we have several middle school and high school students who competed at the state regional or the regional science fair and advanced to state competition, and we'd like to recognize them. We'll start off from Dr. Armando Cuellar Middle School. Mateo Houston won 4th place in the behavior and social sciences category at regionals. And from Central Middle School, Matthias Delcla won 3rd place in the Earth Environmental Science category. Also, Karina Martinez won 3rd place in the Energy category. Moving on to the high school division, from Weslaco ISD High School, Roxana Morales won 4th place in the Embedded Systems and Robotics category. Team members Erica Cáceres and Odalis Castillo won 4th place in the Materials Science category. Another team project won 3rd place at regionals in the Physics and Astronomy category. Congratulations to Octavio Vallejo and Rene Tamez. Victoria Guerrero and Rosemary Rojo won 2nd place in the Earth and Environmental Sciences category. And team members Erlinda Guzman and Marin Cuenca won 1st place in the Engineering Mechanics category. From Weslaco High School, we have Ileana Vallejo and Brian Castellon, who won 3rd place in the Biomedical and Health Science category. Emily Van Tilburg won 2nd place also in the Biomedical and Health Science category. And team members Jordan Cancino and Diego Ornales won 1st place at regionals in the Embedded Systems and Robotics category. They were 3rd runner-up grand champions, qualifying them for International Science and Engineering Fair. Science Fair coordinators are Pedro Solis, Maria Castillo, Alexandra Cavazos, and Roxanne Mendoza, also Cesar Milan. So we'd like to congratulate all of our students. As you see right there, our 3rd place grand champions in the International Science Fair qualifiers, Jordan Cancino and Diego Ornales. Congratulations once again to our Science Fair winners and qualifiers to regional, state, and international competition. Moving along now, we also have several Weslaco High School and BPA Professionals of America, Chapter 1 and 2 state winners. And let's start off as we congratulate our CTE students who competed at the state and national levels, the Business Professionals of America Conference. These students placed in the top 10 at the state level. From Weslaco High School, we have David Gutierrez, who won 8th place in Advanced Office Systems and Procedures. Areli Garcia won 8th place in the Intermediate Word Processing Skills. Brian Peña won 8th place in Extemporaneous Speaking. Kaylee Martinez won 5th place in Advanced Interview Skills. Cooper Ford won 3rd place in Prepared Speech. Zuriel Martes won 3rd place in Integrated Office Applications. Zuriel and Cooper also qualified for national competition. Weslaco High School BPA Chapter 1 sponsor is Alicia Jinez, with co-sponsor Jose Alvarado. Weslaco High School BPA Chapter 2 sponsor is Amanda Rodriguez, and co-sponsor is Maria Rodriguez. Congratulations to all of these fine students. We would also like to recognize some FFA scholarship winners. And there they are on your screen right now. We want to congratulate 2 of our graduating seniors from Weslaco High School that received this prestigious scholarship from Ford Trucks, Built Ford Tough Scholarship, Payne Weslaco Ford. They are Audrey Blaine Bruneman and Luz Caricia Cantu. The National FFA organization, the National FFA Foundation, awarded more than $2 million in scholarships to more than 1,300 recipients in 2020. Students were selected based on FFA involvement, work experience, supervised ag experience, community service, leadership skills, academic and financial need. Overall, there were more than 6,800 applicants, meaning about 25% of those who applied earned scholarships, which can be used by students to pursue either a 2-year degree, 4-year degree, or go to a vocational school. So once again, congratulations to our two students, Carissa Cantu and Blaine Brenneman. We'd also like to recognize a talented young lady from Weslaco East High School. You can also see there on your screen. She's also ranked number 5 in her graduating class. One of our very talented young artists recently competed at the State Visual Arts Scholastic Event Contest. And we're happy to announce that Weslaco East High School student Angie Escalon won a gold medal rating. She'll be graduating from Weslaco East High School next week. Congratulations to her. I know this is not her first time for her to win this VASE award. Congratulations. The piece that you're seeing on your screen right now is actually done on wood. So a very unique piece of art right there by Miss Angie Escalon. Her art teacher is Horacio Ramirez. Congratulations, Angie Escalon. Up next, we'd also like to recognize our Fine Arts Department. Tonight, we want to make a special announcement. The Weslaco ISD Fine Arts Program has been honored with the 2020 Best in Communities for Music Education designation from the NAM Foundation. This is the 3rd consecutive year of the award for Weslaco ISD. We have always known that Weslaco ISD is second to none. You all have enjoyed the talented mariachi groups, Wildcat Regiment, and Panther Corps bands. They are the most recognizable members of our district's music program. These students have been developing their musical abilities since elementary school through middle school and high school under the guidance and devotion of our music teachers. We'd like to say congratulations to all of those who are involved in our fine arts program, and congratulations to our instructors, our teachers, and to our students as well. And Dr. Canales, you have the next award.
Okay, am I on?
Yes.
I can hear my echo. So we'd also like to honor our KWES and Public Information departments for the multiple awards that they received at their annual conference. KWES and Public Information received several Gold Star Awards and 2 Best in Category medals for our district calendar and video news information show. So congratulations to Mr. Robledo, Mrs. Munoz, and the entire KWES and Public Information team. They're being recognized across the state for the great work that happens in Weslaco ISD.
Thank you.
And that concludes the recognitions and awards for this evening.
All right, so a special thank you to all the sponsors and teachers that work with all our students in fine arts, and of course, in music and band and FFA. So thank you to all those sponsors and coaches. And also KWES, outstanding job, KWES again. And Mr. Bissett for the fine arts for the 3rd year in a row. Congratulations. All right, we go next to item number 6. Oh, before we start, Dr. Rivera, are you, were you able to log on, Dr. Rivera? If you did, please say yes. Dr. Rivera, are you able to hear us? He disconnected? Okay. Well, I'll try it again the next time. All right. Item number 6, proclamation for School Nurse Day, May 6, 2020. Dr. Canales.
And Board of Trustees, Mr. Robledo will lead us through this proclamation. Mr. Robledo.
Whereas Weslaco ISD youth are treasured national resources whose health, education, and well-being are interrelated, vital concerns of family, school personnel, and community members. And whereas professional school nurses strengthen and facilitate the educational process by improving and protecting the health status of children and youth. And whereas the major focus of school nursing services in the prevention of illnesses and disability and the early detection and correction of health problems within the school and community. Therefore, Isidoro Nieto, president of Weslaco ISD Board of Trustees, does hereby proclaim May 6, 2020 as National School Nurses Day.
Thank you, Carlos. All right, let me try it again, see if Dr. Rivera was able to log on. He disconnected again. All right, I'll try in a few minutes again. All right, we'll continue with item number 7.
Let's go to one more proclamation. One more proclamation.
Yes. Proclamation for Better Speech and Hearing Month, May 2020. Dr. Canales.
Mr. Robledo, please read the proclamation.
I'm right here standing by. Be it so resolved that the month of May be proclaimed as Better Hearing and Speech Month, And we encourage all citizens to recognize the achievements of our professionals in improving the quality of life for people with communication disorders. We salute the speech language pathologists and speech therapists who work tirelessly to bring better hearing and speech to the 1 in 10 families who are affected by communication disorders. Therefore, Isidoro Nieto, President of the Weslaco ISD Independent School Board of Trustees, does hereby proclaim May 2020 as Better Hearing and Speech Month.
Thank you, Carlos. Item number 8, public comments. We didn't have anybody sign up for public comments. Item number 9, Superintendent's report. Dr. Canales.
I'm going to display the visual, President Nieto. So give me a second. We have several items for the superintendent's report this evening. I'm going to begin with student enrollment. We'll move on to educational programs, including summer school and our blended learning grant. Then we'll move to a COVID-19 update and our meal services. And finally, we'll end with insurance. So for enrollment, it's the same information we presented the last meeting, which represents the last week before the spring break. It's a 26-week of enrollment. So this slide is the same as was presented on April the 20th, which shows 155 difference in enrollment from 2019 to 2020, and a difference of 112 for average daily attendance from 2019 to 2020 on the 26th week of school. So you can see the difference on the next slide by categories. Elementary, a 151 difference in enrollment and an 89 difference in ADA. Middle schools, an enrollment up 19, however, down 14 on ADA. High schools, 27 difference in enrollment to the negative and 7 in ADA. Alternative schools, 8 in enrollment difference to the negative and 3 in ADA. And then you have the Elf Academy at 12 for enrollment, and down 4 for ADA. We also are keeping track weekly of the number of students who are enrolling in our district during the school closures and the number of students that are withdrawing. So you can see from the week of March 23rd, which was the week where we're going to return after spring break, until the week of May 4th, that difference is we have 65 students who've withdrawn, and we have 44 who have enrolled. So that is the enrollment and withdrawals reports. So if there are no questions, I will move on to the next item.
Any questions? Any questions by the board members? Mr. Gonzalez?
Dr. Canales,
Yes, sir.
any indication as to why they withdrew the students other than maybe the COVID? Did they move? Are they still here?
Okay, Dr. Garcia has been keeping that data. Dr. Garcia, would you like to respond to that?
Yes, I would. Thank you, Dr. Canales. Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez, for that question. And actually, we do keep a log in the intake center of the students who register and those who withdraw. And yes, you're right. Most of those students have withdrawn to move either, out of state, somewhere in the state. But the majority of them have actually, because of the COVID-19, they've moved on. They've moved with family members. As you know, a lot of the parents lost their jobs and they can't afford to to live on their own. So they've joined other family members.
Thank you, Dr. Garcia.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions from any of the other board members? All right, continue, Dr. Canales.
For the next one, we have educational program summer school. We are planning for summer school. And I'm going to have Mrs. Peterson and Mr. Aguilar to present on this one.
Thank you, Dr. Canales, and good evening, Board of Trustees. All of our summer programs will run in a virtual environment similar to what we've been doing since we came back from spring break. ACE is a grant. This is our after-school program. They are required to run a summer program, so they will be running their program. Migrant will have the Project Smart curriculum program, which is also required. We are required to offer a bilingual program for our pre-KK, so that will happen. In the past, we've been able to have fine arts at Central Middle School for our students. That is going to have to be canceled for this year. There is not a good way to offer that in an online environment. We are offering special education extended year service, along with special education students attending the programs with a resource inclusion environment. Our elementary schools will focus on reading, writing, and math for students who are not on grade level. Same thing for the middle schools. Again, online environment. The high schools will run credit recovery as they have every year. And also we will be focusing on students who are enrolled in an end of course class and did not receive credit, so that they can pass the class, receive credit for the class, and therefore not have to take that exam. On the next slide, the elementary and middle school program will run for 3 hours. Elementary will be 8 to 9 with teacher planning and preparation, and 9 to 11 with instruction and support. So students who are enrolled in summer school will receive notice from their campus as to when the teachers expect them to be online and actively engaged in lessons. High schools will set multiple time slots that will best meet student needs, but again, they will be 3-hour time slots. On the next slide. Curriculum is going to be very much planned and supported by central office staff with the strategists. Our teachers will be using Google Classroom. For students who have access to the internet, we have provided Chromebooks. We will not be picking up Chromebooks from everyone, especially the students that need them for summer school. We will also have packets available, and we will have phone support available during the set time on the summer school schedule. High schools will be using Edmonton for credit recovery. The strategist will work with the teachers for the end of course exams. We will notify students we do have online test prep material for TSI, ACT, and SAT, and that is available off-site to any student in the high schools that needs that support. Right now, we are still waiting for TSI to move to an online environment. ACT is still trying to determine if they will offer a June test site with reduced numbers of students in each classroom. Weslaco High School is scheduled to be a test site. Joe Alvarado is the proctor there, and he has been in communication with ACT and will keep us posted. Again, they haven't finalized. And SAT also, they've had to make some major revisions. Our dual enrollment program will continue online. And Summer Bridge is a program that we offer our students going into our early college high schools. We are looking at the possibility of having that in August, most likely, again, in a virtual environment. And Mr. Aguilar, I don't know if you want to add anything to what I've said? Mr. Aguilar, you need to turn on your mic.
Yeah. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Mr. Nieto, Dr. Canales, members of the board. Yes, our campus administrators, I want to thank them, and our strategist, curriculum, and instruction. They've been very involved in the planning process to make sure that, one, we get all our students that need to be part of the summer school program involved, and making sure that we continue our virtual learning and continue moving forward with our students. So that is going to be our goal, and we're going to continue doing that.
Thank you, both of you. Mr. Kennedy, any questions?
Yeah, how are they administering the ACT right now on the SAT?
Right now, they're still scheduled to be in person, possibly with reduced numbers of classrooms, but we don't know if that's going to continue. We're receiving updates, so Samantha Mize, Norma Brewer, our high school counselors are all very closely monitoring those situations. Right now, there has not been a test. They had canceled their administrations that were scheduled for the spring.
Thank you.
Dr. Jaime, any questions, Dr. Jaime?
No, sir, I'm good.
Mr. Gonzalez?
No, sir, I'm good.
Dr. Richard Rivera? He's still not on. Okay, Mr. Erasmo Lopez? Any questions?
I'm fine. I'm fine with all the information.
Mr. Cuellar?
No, everything's fine.
Okay, good. That's a good job in planning for the summer, Dr. Canales and Ms. Peterson. Of course, going online, that's going to be, again, it's going to be tough, but we're going to move forward. All right, next portion, Dr. Canales, COVID-19.
Educational programs, just one more, is blended learning. Mr. Aguilar, will you share the good news about this one?
Yes, Dr. Canales, thank you. Again, good evening, everyone. I do want to thank, first of all, begin thanking to Mr. Scott Amdahl, Ms. Julie Kelly, for spearheading this grant that we participated in. Again, we're very excited. Weslaco ISD, just a few brief points, was awarded up to $300,000 in grant funding through Raising Blended Learners Initiative. This was a very rigorous process that took place, and we had several school districts, over 75, that submitted their application. It was narrowed down to 75 school districts, and then the bottom 20 were selected. So we're proud that we were part of that 20. There's only one other district in Region 1, and that is Harlingen ISD that was selected. But all the members, as you can see the slide there, we have Mrs. Selman, Ms. Quadra, Mrs. Kelly, Mrs. Hernandez, Ms. Vanderveer, Dr. Canales, and Mr. Amdahl, and myself. We did participate in this rigorous process. And this grant focus is going to focus on personalized blended learning to improve our kinder through second grade literacy. We're very excited about that, and we put a lot of thought into what we're going to be doing. Now, this grant is going to focus on 4 pilot schools based on blended learning readiness at the time. By now, several of our schools have come along and are doing a wonderful job, but at that time, the 4 schools that were selected were Memorial Elementary, PFC Mario Vara Elementary, Airport Elementary, and Kleckler-Held Elementary. So moving forward with that, Raising Blended Learner implementation was expected to launch the 2021 school year. Just having recent discussions with Mr. Amdahl, they are going to be pushing it back a little further for more information. But again, we're very excited with this. We've had a lot of experience moving forward now with a blended learning process. And a lot of engagement, especially through our virtual learning and bringing it together, as you can see, combining the classroom teaching and personalized learning for our students. So we're very excited. Congratulations to Weslaco ISD and to the team for working very hard, and we're excited to kick off this initiative.
Thank you, Mr. Aguilar. Mr. Kennedy, any questions on this blended learning program?
Yes, sir.
Dr. Jaime?
No, but congratulations. Job well done.
Thank you.
Mr. Gonzalez?
No, sir, but congratulations as well. Great job, team.
Dr. Rivera? Dr. Rivera? Is Dr. Rivera on? Or not yet? Okay. He's having difficulty right now. Okay. Mr. Lopez, any questions?
No, I'm fine. Congratulations to the team. I was very informed, being that Ms. Vanderveer was on the team, and just want to congratulate the whole team on a job well done.
Thank you. Mr. Cuellar?
Again, congratulations for that effort, and hard work pays off, and you all are to be commended.
Thank you.
Question, Mr. Aguilar. So
yes, sir.
This blended learning, you said it was K through 2?
That's going to be the focus of our grant, Mr. Nieto, that we're going to be moving forward. We've collected a lot of data, and we're going to steamroll it once we get back into the rhythm of things. But that is our focus, that we want to build and improve on our literacy moving forward. And this was one of our focus points. And again, I want to reiterate that it was a very rigorous process. Raise Your Hand Texas really took this very serious and screened all the districts very thoroughly. And we were engaged to all hours of the night, preparing and planning and being on our toes. They questioned us and they grilled us. And I want to congratulate the team, because they were very prepared and they responded very strong, and they were very excited. So, in the state of Texas, we were one of 20 districts selected. So that says a lot of our team. They worked very hard.
It sure does. And congratulations again, Dr. Canales and Mr. Aguilar and the rest of the staff. Great job.
Great job.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
COVID-19 and meal service update, Dr. Canales?
Okay, for just the COVID-19, first of all, on the screen, you'll see the number of cases. Our team consistently monitors the number of cases. and gets information from the state, the county, and from each other. So this on the screen, I don't have to read it to you, just look at our counties. There's 512 as of 1 p.m. today in Cameron County cases, 434 in Webb County, which is part of Region 1, and 387 in Hidalgo County. So this is information that we look at every single day, and we share with our principals and our directors when we do meet virtually. With that in mind, just wanted with the COVID-19 updates, TEA is putting out a lot of guidance for districts across the state, and our team is committed to looking at the guidance that is provided. One in particular that we're looking at very, very carefully is the minimum standard health protocols for school employees in a school building during campus closures per our governor's executive order number GA-21. And our governor, along with our Commissioner of Education, Mike Morath, like I said, provides guidance. They work with the top health officials in the state and the nation. And when they talk about reopenings, whether it's school settings or business settings, they're also putting out guidance. So Weslaco ISD is committed to following the guidance from the Texas Education Agency, which is aligned with all the orders from our governor and health officials from the state and nation. So that's all I want to say about COVID-19. We're on it, and we're following guidelines provided by the foremost authority in education in the state, and that's the Texas Education Agency.
Meal service update, Dr. Canales?
So for meal services, Mr. Andres Sanchez is also on, and Andres, if you can unmute to help out with us. But Weslaco ISD is very proud to continue serving meals to students during the closure. We do follow all federal and state mandated regulations as is required. We ensure the highest levels of sanitation in kitchens and during meal service. Free meals are available to pick up on Mondays and Wednesdays to all students age 18 and under, regardless of whether they're enrolled in the district. They need to have proper identification or the children present in the cars. Our district a couple of weeks ago rolled out the proper identification for parents to put on the windshields of their vehicles so that they do not have to have their children in the cars. On Monday, we served two breakfast and 2 lunch meals. And on May 4th, 2020, on Monday, we prepared and served 12,604 meals throughout the 8 feeding sites in our district. Then on Wednesday, we served 3 breakfasts and 3 lunches for the rest of the week. And last Wednesday, May 6, 2020, we prepared and served 20,190 meal services throughout the 8 feeding sites within the district. Our employees in food nutrition that are offering these meal services have been champions in making sure that our kids are fed, have been coming to work consistently through the closure and doing a great job in adjusting and learning, and so that we can make sure that we're providing meals to children who need them. And there are some pictures of the 3 meals that were served on a Wednesday. And Mr. Sanchez, I don't know if you have anything else to add?
No, Dr. Canales, pretty much you covered everything that we have. This is the example of on Wednesday they have a hot lunch, and then Thursday and Friday is a cold meal that they provide. This is an example of what they do on Wednesdays for the 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
All right, thank you to, of course, Dora Peña and the food service employees that, like you mentioned, Dr. Canales, that they've been working throughout the closure and providing those meals. So I commend Dora and her staff.
Thank you.
It's making me hungry. Okay.
Please.
Any any comments, Mr. Kennedy?
No.
Dr. Jaime?
No, again, Coach, just commend all involved in this process and thank you for all the hard work and the planning that goes into all this. Thank you so much.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Yeah, just Ms. Peña and the rest of her staff, if they're on, thank you. Thank you for everything you're doing for our students and their families. We truly, truly appreciate all y'all's hard time. Thank you.
Mr. Lopez?
Yes, Mr. Nieto, thank you. I just want to, of course, thank the whole team, Weslaco ISD, for providing the meals for our students and there's no way that we can really thank the whole team for putting in this time during this difficult situation we're going through. And thanks again. I mean, it's wonderful what you all did.
Just kind of muted up here.
Thank you, Mr. Cuellar.
I agree with that thought. It's very commendable. Anything to work, everybody's got to work together, and I'm just so proud of everybody's job, and thank you all very much.
Dr. Rivera, you
Mr.
able to log
Nieto,
on
I'm
now?
here.
Yes, sir.
I'm
All
here
right.
already.
Okay, at 6:30, Dr.
Very-
Rivera, join the meeting.
Yes,
Okay, thank you, Dr. Rivera.
thanks.
All right, we continue to insurance. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, Mr. Michael De La Rosa will be covering the insurance portion. This is a final section for the report.
Good evening, Dr. Canales, Mr. Nieto, members of the board. This is the standard insurance slide that we present with data through the end of April. So in medical claims, last year at this time, we were at approximately $7.6 million versus this year up through the end of April, we're at $6.4 million. That's a decrease of approximately $1.1 million from this year over last year. So just on the medical claims, I did notice that we had about a $500,000 decrease for the month of April. And we could probably attribute that towards the several hospitals closing throughout the pandemic. All elective surgeries were put on hold. So probably for April and May, we'll see a decrease in claims. And as facilities start to open up again, we'll see an increase in medical claims as people start to go back and get their procedures done that weren't critical. Prescription drugs last year at this time were at just over $3 million. This year we're at $3.3 million. That's an increase of $281,126.94. Fixed costs last year were at just a little over 2 million versus this year at $1.6 million, decrease of exactly 385,492.51 total. Through the month of April last year, we're at $12.6 million. This year we're at $11.4 million. This is about 11% decrease, or approximately $1.2 million. So we're doing okay there.
Go ahead, continue, Mike.
This is the workers' compensation slide. This year versus last year, we had 84 claims last year through the end of April versus this year we've had 53. Last year we paid $136,000 through April. This year we're just at a little over $137,000. The outstanding reserves are indicated there, and then the total incurred, which is the paid and the reserves together. Last year we're at $221,785.25. This year we're at $172,649.27. And since we've been shut down since March, you will see a decrease in workers' compensation claims as well. So we're doing well.
All right, you finished, Mike?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Unless anyone has questions.
Mr. Kennedy, any questions on the insurance part?
I have no questions. Thank you for the presentation.
Okay, Dr. Jaime?
No, sir. Thank you, Mike.
Mr. Gonzalez?
No, sir. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Dr. Richard Rivera?
No questions. Good job.
Okay, Mr. Lopez?
No questions for me. Thank you, Mike.
Coach Cuellar?
None for me, and thank you, Mike.
Thank you, sir.
And no questions for me. Good job in the presentation. All right, next item number 10. We go forward to consent agenda. I'll give you a few minutes to look at the consent agenda before I ask for any discussion. Mr. Kennedy, any items you need to pull?
No, sir.
Dr. Jaime?
No, sir.
Mr. Gonzalez?
No, sir.
Dr. Richard Rivera?
None.
None. Mr. Lopez?
I would just like to ask Dr. Canales, is there any items that have not been purchased or that have been put on hold due to this pandemic and that will be released at a later date?
Thank you for the question, Mr. Lopez. not that I know of any that have been completely put on hold. We're making decisions very carefully, ask staff to identify what's needed versus what's wanted as we prepare for the future. But when it comes to instruction and summer school and things that need to be purchased to support our students and our staff and supporting our students, if there's a need, the staff brings it up to supervisors and we discuss it and we bring it to the board if need be.
So
I'm
we're
not
proceeding,
like denied or anything like that right now.
right, we're proceeding normal, as normal as possible.
As normal as possible and as flexible as possible.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're welcome.
Good question, Mr. Lopez. Coach Cuellar?
No, that's good to know, and thank you, but I have no concern.
Okay, so they have a motion for the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Mr. Gonzalez,
Yes, sir.
and a second by Mr. Kennedy.
Sure.
So I have a motion by Mr. Gonzalez and a second by Mr. Kennedy to approve the consent agenda. Any other discussion? All in favor, whenever I say yes when I call your name. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Mr. Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Dr. Richard Rivera?
Yes.
Mr.
Aye.
Lopez?
Aye.
Coach Cuellar?
Aye.
And myself, aye, motion carries. Item number 11, discussion items. Dr. Canales, interim financial report for the 8 months ended April 30th, 2020.
Thank you, Mr. Nieto. This is a no action item and Mr. Sanchez is available to report on this one. Mr. Sanchez.
Yes. Mr. Nieto, Dr. Canales, members of the board, for the 8 months ended April 30, 2020, in the general fund, we have from total revenues budgeted of $183,844,000. We have received $130,804,000. That represents 71%. The expenditures of a total of $190,564,000. We have expended or encumbered $113,926,000, which represents almost 60%. So we are doing well right now as of April 30.
All right. Any, this is just discussion items, correct, Dr. Canales?
Correct, Mr. Nieto.
Any question, Mr. Kennedy?
No questions. Thanks for the update, Nat.
Dr. Jaime? Dr. Jaime?
No, sir. No question.
Okay. Mr. Gonzalez?
No, sir.
Dr. Rivera?
No questions. Just be tight with the budget.
Very true. I agree. Mr. Lopez?
No questions for me.
Mr. Cuellar? Coach Cuellar? I don't know if he muted. All right, we'll continue to item B, acknowledgement of Hidalgo County Tax Office Collection Report for February 2020, current taxes and delinquent taxes. Dr. Canales.
Mr. Nieto, first of all, I did read report for March 2020. Current taxes and delinquent taxes. This is also a no action item, and Mr. Andres Sanchez will proceed with this report. Mr. Sanchez.
Yes. Mr. Nieto, Dr. Canales, members of the board, for the March 2020 report on current taxes, we have collected $22,865,466. That represents 90.45%. Last year, at the end of April, we collected, last year at the end of March, we collected 90.54%. That is almost nothing different, like 0.09% less. So it's very close. For delinquent taxes, we collected $504,096. That represents 13.11%. Last year, at the end of March, we collected 16.60%. On that one, we are almost 3.5% less than last year. That is the report.
All right. Any questions, Mr. Kennedy?
What kind of impact is this going to have on the budget, considering that the collections are lower?
It shouldn't be much as far as this is concerned for this year, Mr. Kennedy, because on the current taxes we have collected, we're pretty close to our budget. The delinquent is a small amount. This part, it might be a small amount that we less. So we still got 4 months. We'll see how the rest of the months go. They'll probably be lower because of the effect of people not having the money to pay the taxes. But it's a small amount in the budget. We budgeted only 20%, so we're still low by 7% on the budget.
Thank you.
Yes.
Dr. Jaime?
Thank you, Mr. Sanchez. I'm good.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez?
No questions. Thank you, Mr. Sanchez.
Dr. Rivera?
I'm good.
Good. Mr. Lopez?
I'm good with the report.
Okay, Mr. Cuellar, Coach Cuellar?
I'm fine too.
All right. Let's continue on. Item number 12, discussion and possible action items. We have item A, discussion and possible action for the board to consider renewal of the district students accident insurance, which includes athletic, catastrophic, and voluntary, with student assurance services underwritten by Emeritus Life Insurance Company through the brokerage store for school year 2020-21, or authorize administrations to solicit proposals for the same. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, Weslaco ISD purchases insurance to cover students in the event of an injury while participating in UIL sanction activities. The district's plan provides for 100% of benefits at no cost to the athlete or their parents, if provided through the Lone Star Athletic Network. Last year, the district conducted an RFP process for student athletic insurance and awarded the proposal to Student Assurance Services through the Texas Insurance Service Center with an option to renew for 2 additional one-year terms. Student Assurance Services submitted a flat renewal for the 2020-2021 plan year, including a $42,650 credit due to the early school closure. This will be the first year renewal option for this product. Risk management and the athletic department concur that there have been no major issues and feel it is the best interest of the district to move forward with a renewal. So we
I'll
are
make a motion to accept Dr. Canales' recommendation.
Second.
We lost you, Mr. Nieto.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Gonzalez, and it was a second by Dr. Jaime?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right, just checking, just to make sure. We have a motion by Mr. Gonzalez, a second by Dr. Jaime to renew the district student insurance with Student Insurance Services underwritten by Emeritus Life Insurance Company. Any discussion?
Yes, sir. I just want to say my son was involved on a field accident, and the company, you know, they did send a bill. I sent it back to them, and they took care of it. So kudos to the department for keeping this company, because they really did a good job.
Okay. Any other board members want to comment on this? All right. All in favor, please say aye when I mention your name. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime? Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Dr. Rivera?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
Coach Cuellar?
Aye.
And myself, aye. Motion carries. Item B, discussion of possible action for the board to consider renewal of the district's employer paid term life AD&D insurance with Dearborn National Life Insurance through the interlocal participation agreement with the Texas Educational Employees Benefit Cooperative, TEEBC, or to authorize administration to solicit proposals for the same. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, as an enhanced benefit that our district, provides all employees with $25,000 of term life insurance at no cost to the employees. Employees may also purchase up to $100,000 in additional life insurance at group rates. In 2017, you approved a resolution to enter into an interlocal participation agreement with the Texas Educational Employers Benefit Cooperative. Public entities may purchase products through purchasing cooperatives such as this one, which the acronym is TEEBC, without conducting a formal RFP. Through TEEBC, current rates with BCBS Dearborn Life are guaranteed through August 2022. Dearborn Life is a wholly owned subsidiary of Blue Cross Blue Shield, so we are recommending Board of Trustees that you renew the district's employer paid term life, AD&D, through Blue Cross Blue Shield, formerly Dearborn National Life Insurance, through the interlocal participation agreement with the Texas Educational Employers Benefit Cooperative.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Kennedy and a second by Mr. Cuellar. Any other discussion?
Yeah, Dr. Canales and Micah, if you're still on, can we just push, if they can afford that extra life insurance, because there's no medical, we've lost a few families, employees, and this is sometimes the only life insurance they have. So it's at a discounted rate. So please, make sure that they know and realize that they're given the option to purchase up to the $100,000.
That they're aware of it.
Yes, Mr. Gonzalez, and when we do no underwriting is for new employees for the additional amounts. So when we meet with new employees, we highly encourage them to buy up if you will.
Okay. So we have a motion by Mr. Kennedy, a second by Coach Cuellar, to renew the district employees' paid term life AD insurance with Dearborn National Life Insurance through the interlocal participation agreement with the Texas Educational Employees Benefit Cooperative. All in favor, please say aye when I call your name. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Dr. Rivera?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
Mr. Cuellar?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, item C, discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval of the administration's ranking recommendation for the roof replacement projects at 3 schools, Memorial Elementary, North Bridge Elementary, and Weslaco High School Transition Center, CSP number 200420. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, our Facilities Committee for the school district had identified 3 schools that need priority attention to their roofs. This is a second roof replacement in our district that is being undertaken in an effort to renovate and safeguard our campuses. On November 11th, 2019, you approved the competitive seal proposals procurement method of construction for the roofing improvement projects, delegated the ranking authority to administration, and approved the ranking criteria endpoints as presented. We had 7 contractors submit proposal packages. The committee reviewed and ranked 6 of the 7. There was 1 that was not ranked due to not meeting the requested work specifications. All the other 6 contractors met the established roof work specifications and requirements. Administration is recommending approval of the base project and alternative number 1 for American Contracting USA, Inc. from Rio Hondo, Texas. The contractor ranked number 1 at a total project cost of $3.2 million, a little over $3.2 million.
That is the lowest bidder, right?
That is that is the lowest bidder.
Dr. Canales,
Approve the.
can you hear me?
Yes, so Andres, we had clarification about the one that did not meet.
Yeah, the one that did not meet specifications was the lowest bidder. On the first page of the agenda, it's listed at the bottom. No, sorry. It's not listed in that one. It's listed on the 3rd page. Number 7 on the 3rd page.
So I have a motion by Mr. Kennedy, correct, or no?
Yes, that's correct.
Do I have a second?
Second.
By Mr. Gonzalez. Okay, so we have a motion by Mr. Kennedy and a second by Mr. Gonzalez to approve American contracting for the roof replacement project at 3 schools, Mimola Elementary, North Bridge Elementary, and Weslaco High School Transition Center. Any discussion?
I've got 2 questions. The timeline, Andres, to finish this work?
It's 180 days, sir. It's 180 days for the 3 projects altogether.
Okay, so they'll finish by September?
No. Let me see. No, it'll be till November, close to December by the time they finish.
Okay. What about the interruption to the classes? If we start school in September, would it be a factor?
They'll be working at night. We have the architect on the line. He can add any additional comments or medical. Jerry?
Dr. Rivera, we've structured the understanding on the construction documents for them to be accessible to work in the evenings as well, and work aligned with the staff of the present schools. Whether they're testing or not testing, they have to abide by whatever structure is set up by the actual principal of the campus. So that's been structured into the agreement and into the specifications of the construction documents.
Okay. And my last question, Andres, you have the 3.2 budgeted?
Yes, sir. We have made a transfer from the local maintenance fund balance to the construction fund for that. We had actually transferred $3,860,000 because the initial estimate came in higher. So we have about $400,000 left from that amount that we transferred to the construction fund.
Okay, I'm okay.
I have one question. Have we worked with this company before?
Yes, they did the prior 2 projects, Airport Elementary and Garza Middle School.
Were any issues?
No, there were some delays or some questions with both companies that we have, but they were solved. And the architects were okay with it as well.
Okay.
But they worked with them at that time.
All right.
Okay, so we have a motion by Mr. Kennedy and a second by Mr. Gonzalez to approve the American contracting with alternate number 1 for the projects at the 3 schools. All in favor, please say aye when I mention your name. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Dr. Rivera?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez? Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
Okay. Mr. Cuellar?
Aye.
And motion carries. All right, we go to item D. Discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval to extend the contract award for the independent fiscal and compliance audit of the district for the fiscal year ending August 31st, 2020, RFQ number 190626. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, the firm conducted the independent fiscal and compliance audit for the district for the fiscal year ended August 31st, 2019. Administration worked well with the audit team and believes that they are knowledgeable and competent and recommends for the board to extend the award for 1 additional year.
Is the contract price the same?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Then I move to approve the renewal.
Second.
The extension.
So we have a motion by Mr. Kennedy, second by Mr. Gonzalez. Any other discussion? All right, so we have a motion by Mr. Kennedy and a second by Mr. Gonzalez to extend the contract award for the independent fiscal and compliance audit of the district for the fiscal year ending August 31st, 2020. Please say aye when I mention your name. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Dr. Rivera?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
Mr. Cuellar?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item E, Discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval of a procurement method of construction for the restroom partitions replacement project at 3 schools: Mary Hope Middle School, Beatriz Garza Middle School, and Airport Elementary. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, as mentioned earlier, staff is looking at the needs in our district versus the wants in our district. This has been identified as a need by the Facilities Committee and by staff. On May 6, 2020, we did have a virtual Weslaco ISD Facilities Committee to discuss and vote on various projects needing immediate attention. The restroom partitions replacement project was approved by the committee to proceed and present to the school board for approval. There are 3 campuses that were identified by our maintenance department as being in dire need of having the partitions replaced inside the restrooms. The campuses are Mary Hogue, B. Garza Middle School, and Airport Elementary. The Board of Trustees, we're recommending that you approve the procurement method of construction as a method that would provide the best value to the district for the replacement project of the restroom partitions at the 3 campuses mentioned. And administration is recommending the competitive sealed proposals method of construction. We're asking you to make the determination to retain your authority to rank the proposals to be received for this project or to delegate the authority to administration. And we're asking you to approve the criteria and points to be used for the ranking of these proposals. I do have staff available to answer questions that also serve on the Facilities Committee.
I'll make the motion to go ahead and go with number 1, the sealed proposals, and then for staff to rank them, and then to approve that criteria as presented.
I second.
We have a motion by Dr. Rivera and a second by Mr. Cuellar to go with sealed proposals for the staff to rank it and to approve criteria and points to be used for the ranking the proposals. Any other discussion?
Just one question, Mr. Nieto, to Andres.
Yes, sir.
What's the approximate cost for this project?
It is 175,000, Dr. Rivera.
Okay, and it's also budgeted, or you have it in your construction fund?
Yes, we have it in the construction fund.
All right, so we have any other discussion? All right, so we have a motion by Dr. Rivera, second by Mr. Cuellar for the approval of procurement method of construction for the restroom partitions at the 3 schools, Mary Hope, Garza, and Airport. Sealed proposals, ranked by the staff, and approval of criteria and points to be used for ranking the proposals. All in favor, please say aye when I mention your name. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Dr. Rivera?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
Mr. Cuellar?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right. We'll continue on item number F. Discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval of a procurement method of construction for the Pete Abrigo Ag Complex Remodeling and Improvement Project. Number 1, board determination of procurement method of construction that will provide the best value to the district for the project. Number 2, board determination to retain the authority to rank the proposals to be received for this project, or for the board to delegate their authority to the administration to rank the proposals. And number 3, approval of criteria and points to be used for ranking the proposals. Dr. Canales.
Trustees, this one also has been discussed by the Facilities Committee for some time now. So on May 6th, when we did meet virtually, we discussed it and we voted on it. The Weslaco ISD Ag Complex Remodeling Improvement Project was considered and approved by the committee, and we're moving it forward for your approval. It consists of several buildings that are used to house all the animals being raised by students as part of their ag projects. The major building structure, which houses the goats, lambs, and other animals, has been determined to be unstable due to corrosion of the beams that act as the canopy's legs to support the structure. So the committee is recommending, Board of Trustees, that you approve a procurement method of construction as the method that would provide the best value to the district for the remodeling and improvement project at the Ag Complex. We're recommending the competitive sealed proposals method of construction. We're asking you to make the determination to retain your authority to rank the proposals to be received for the project or to delegate that authority to administration. And we're asking that you to approve the criterion points to be used for the ranking of the proposals. This project is set to the cost range that we're anticipating is anywhere from 1 million to 1.5 million.
I'll make the motion to go ahead and approve the competitive seal proposals for staff to rank them, and then to approve the points as presented.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion by Dr. Rivera, a second by Mr. Gonzalez.
Yes.
All right. To approve the procurement method of construction, the competitive seal proposals for the staff to rank them, or the administration, and for approval of the criteria and points to be used for ranking the proposals. Any discussion?
One question to Andres.
Yes, sir.
Andres, on the update, can you list all the projects? Because we're spending a lot of money in the construction funds.
Yes, sir.
So I want to see maybe for this school year, how much we spent on construction projects and how much money we have left over and what projects still remain for us to use.
Sure, I can put it in.
I think that was one of my concerns as well, to make sure we have enough money left in the budget.
Correct. I agree with both Dr. Rivera and Mr. Kennedy. So we have a motion by Dr. Rivera, second by Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor, please say aye when I mention your name. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Dr. Rivera?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
And Mr. Cuellar?
Aye.
Motion carries. Continue on right along. Item G. Discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval of an architect firm to design the plans and specifications and oversee the construction of the Pete Abrigo Ag Complex remodeling and improvements project. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, PBK completed a similar project on a new ag facility in Mission, CISD, in 2016, and currently completed the design of a new ag facility for McAllen ISD. They have done work in our district, such as the projects at Coed Middle School and Sam Houston Elementary. And they also were the architect firm on the athletic renovations project at Weslaco High School and Weslaco East High School. We are recommending that you consider approving to hire PBK architects to design the plans and specs and oversee the construction of the Pete Abrigo Ag Complex remodeling and improvement project.
I make a motion to approve PBK for this project.
I'll second that.
Hey, Coach, can't hear you.
There you go. We have a motion by Mr. Gonzalez, a second by Dr. Jaime to approve PBK to oversee the construction of the Pete Abrigo Ag Complex remodeling and improvements project. Any discussion?
Just to get a list of the cost for all the projects from August to now. For Andres?
Yes, sir. We'll add it in the update.
Any other discussion?
Andres,
Yes, sir.
Andres, I know that we're approving a method of construction. We're approving architects. Let's just say that I know that this is down the road by about 6 months at a bare minimum of planning and design. If there are any issues with money moving forward in those 6 months, are we able to stop the construction without going forward? Or are we committed to spending the money after this vote?
No, we get the project, approve the architect, design the plans. If at the time of bidding, the board does not approve the project, all we owe the architect fees up to the bidding part, and we don't have to approve.
Okay, that is my concern, that we have a lot of unknowns right now with this pandemic that we're going through, and I would hate for the state to cut monies and then us being a bind and having to build this. But thank you so much for that information.
Yes, sir.
Any other discussion? So we have a motion.
Well, on
Go ahead.
Mr. Mo, you know, he's right on target, because more than likely for next year, we're going to have a reduction of funds. So this is why I asked for that list, because with less funds, less students, perhaps, maybe, we have to look at the total financial report that we have. But just again, the observation to have to get the list.
Yes, sir.
What we have left over, keeping in mind that we'll probably have less funds come next year, and then even with the new when they meet again, legislature when they meet again, I just feel that we're going to be getting the whole state a reduction in funds. So we have to be very careful on how we spend our money.
Yes, sir.
All right. That's correct. We have to be very careful, Mr. Lopez and Dr. Rivera. I agree, and we've discussed that before. So, so we have a motion by Mr. Gonzalez and a second by Dr. Jaime to approve PBK to design the plans and specifications and oversee the construction of the Pete Abrigo Ag Complex Remodeling and Improvements Project. All in favor, please say aye when I ask for your name. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Dr. Rivera?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
And Coach Cuellar?
Aye. I don't know.
Motion carries. All right, we go to item H. Discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval of a procurement method of construction for the replacement of HVAC system for the Aquatic Center pool area project. Number one, board determination of procurement method of construction that will provide the best value to the district for the project. Number two, board determination to retain the authority to rank the proposals to be received for this project, or board delegation of the authority to the administration to rank the proposals. And number three, approval of criteria and points to be used for the ranking of the proposals. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, here's another example of something that's coming to the end of its lifespan. It's the HVAC system for the pool area at the Aquatic Center is 12 years old, and it is in need of replacement. The estimated life of this type of unit is between 11 and 15 years. The system is required to operate nonstop on a 24-hour schedule to maintain an adequate pool area environment. The current unit is operating very inefficiently, primarily due to wear caused by age and surrounding corrosive environment. The main controller board is expensive and has been replaced at least 3 times already. The refrigerant used by the unit is not commonly used today and is costly to obtain. So we are asking Board of Trustees that you approve a procurement method of construction as a method that would provide the best value to the district for the replacement of the HVAC system for the Aquatic Center pool area project. We are recommending the competitive seal proposals method of construction. We're asking you to make the determination to retain your authority to rank the proposals received or to delegate that to administration. And we're asking you to approve the criteria and points to be used for the ranking of the proposals. This project is estimated right now between $350,000 and $400,000.
Well, I'll make the motion. It's needed, but Andres, again, go back and give us that list. How much money we have, how much we spent. So I'll make the motion to go ahead and go with the seal proposals for staff to rank them and then approve the criteria points as presented.
Second.
So we have a motion by Dr. Rivera and a second by Mr. Gonzalez. Yes?
Yes.
Any other discussion? All right, so we have a motion by Dr. Rivera, a second by Mr. Gonzalez to approve the procurement method of construction for the HVAC system for the Aquatic Center, competitive seal proposal for the administration to rank the proposals, and to approve of criteria and points to be used for ranking the proposals. All in favor, please say aye when I call your name out. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Dr. Rivera?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez,
Aye.
Mr. Cuellar,
Aye.
motion carries. We'll continue to item I, discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval of a mechanical engineering firm to design the plans and specifications, as well as provide construction administration services for the replacement of the HVAC system for the aquatic center pool area project. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, we are asking you to approve to hire Trinity MEP Engineering to design the plans and specs, as well as provide construction administration services for the replacement of the HVAC system for the aquatic center pool area. Trinity MEP Engineering has done work for the district on past projects such as the Weslaco High School and Weslaco East High School tennis courts lighting project, the replacement of the chiller systems at B. Garza Middle School, the conversion of the HVAC unit at Weslaco East High School Athletics Building. Our experience with Trinity and Engineering has been positive, so we're asking for your approval to hire Trinity MEP
I'll make a
Engineering.
motion to approve Trinity Engineering.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Gonzalez and second by Coach Cuellar, correct?
Yeah.
To approve Trinity Engineering to design the plans and specifications, as well as provide construction administrative services for the replacement of the HVAC system for the aquatic pool. All in favor, please say aye when I call your name. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Dr. Rivera?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
Mr. Cuellar?
Aye.
Motion carries. Good job, gentlemen. Moving right along. All right, item J. Discussion and possible action for the approval to allocate the 179D deduction for energy efficient projects for the Weslaco East High School Athletic Facility renovation project as permitted in section 179D of the Internal Revenue Code. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, PBK Architects has submitted a request for you to consider allocating the 179D tax deduction to their firm as the architects that designed the project as allowed for in the Internal Revenue Code for 179D energy efficient tax deductions. The request submitted by PBK Architects is enclosed. The project was completed in the calendar year 2019. Trinity MEP Engineering, the mechanical engineer that designed the MEP HVAC and electrical portion of this project, has indicated via email correspondence submitted to the administration that Trinity MEP Engineering takes no exception on allowing PBK Architects to be granted the exception for this project. So there's a copy of the email message is also enclosed for you. So since school districts cannot claim the EPA Act 179D deduction, the district has the discretion to pass the deduction to architects, engineers, contractors, and other professionals responsible for the design and construction of energy efficient projects in government-owned buildings. So we are recommending that you consider approving the allocation of the 179D tax deduction available for energy efficient projects as it pertains to Weslaco East High School Athletic Facility renovation project as permitted in section 179D of the Internal Revenue Code, IRC, to PBK.
I'll move to approve this request.
So we have a motion by Mr. Kennedy, correct?
That's correct.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Dr. Jaime? So we have a motion by Mr. Kennedy and a second by Dr. Jaime to approve the allocate 179D deduction for energy efficient projects for the Weslaco East High School Athletic Facility renovation project as permitted in section 179 of the Internal Revenue Code. Any discussion?
I haven't really dealt with this before, but my understanding is that a contractor or engineer, since the school district can't take this tax deduction, we can allow one of our contractors or engineers to take the deduction in our
Correct.
place. Is that right? And
Correct.
I guess that could have been Trinity or PBK.
Yes.
Okay, and Trinity doesn't have a problem?
Dr.
No.
Canales?
No, he said no.
And the district has done this in the past. with a previous request by a contractor or engineering firm.
Mr. Bettis, what was the question?
I'm stating that the district has done this before, has extended this courtesy to another firm that I can recall when the firm reached out to the district and requested this. So this is not the first time that the district has acknowledged a request and given allocated the deduction if they meet the qualifications.
Okay. Any other comments, discussion? So we have a motion by Mr. Kennedy and a second by Dr. Jaime to approve the allocate 179 deduction for energy efficient projects. All in favor, please say aye when I call out your name. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Dr. Rivera?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
Mr. Cuellar?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, let's go to item number K. Discussion and possible action on first amended resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Weslaco Independent School District regarding measures for the protection of students, staff, and community arising out of COVID-19. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, on April the 30th, 2020, at 12 a.m. or midnight, Governor Abbott's stay-at-home order expired and was not extended. On May 5th, 2020, executive order issued providing that school personnel are encouraged to work remotely if possible, but may return to school facilities under the minimum standard health protocols found in guidance issued by the Texas Education Agency. The Texas Education Agency has issued that guidance for school districts, and they include that school classrooms are closed for in-classroom attendance by students for instructional purposes for the rest of this school year, that employees may go into classrooms for certain things, that where possible, school employees should continue to work remotely. And if they can't do so, because there's some work that can't be done remotely at home, they should follow the parameters outlined in TA's guidance. That school employees' time at school should be staggered at each individual campus and site to enable social distancing to be implemented effectively. And that includes maintain at least 6 feet separation from other individuals not within the same household. And if such distancing is not feasible, other measures such as face coverings, hand hygiene, cough etiquette, cleanliness, sanitation should be rigorously practiced. That consistent with the action taken by employees across the state, considering having all employees wear cloth face coverings over the nose and the mouth, and to screen employees before they access a school facility for any worsening signs or symptoms connected with COVID-19. We're asking for this resolution because it allows protection for the health and safety of Weslaco ISD students, staff, and community, and it is aligned with the executive order from our governor, number GA-21, and it will be aligned with the Texas Education Agency's minimum standard health protocols for school employees in buildings during closures per the governor's executive order. So I guess I need to read the resolution. So the first amended resolution reads as follows.
You can read, Dr. Canales, starting with paragraph number 1, because that would be the actual, the number 1, because that would be the official approval of the board if the board is so inclined to approve.
Okay, for clarification, on page 2, correct, Mr. Pettis?
Page 2, paragraph number 1.
Okay, so paragraph number 1, the superintendent of schools of the Weslaco Independent School District is hereby vested with the following authority. A, determine how and when to reopen the school district to staff members, and if necessary, close the school district once again due to then existing COVID-19 guidance. B, identify essential personnel as necessary. C, determine when the premium pay provisions shall cease under Weslaco ISD policy DEA local, and if necessary, re-implement the premium pay provisions provided for in policy. D, in the event the school district is reopened to staff and the superintendent determines that a closure is once again needed, the board authorizes continued wage payments to all regular employees, contractual and non-contractual, salaried and non-salaried, who are instructed not to work during the emergency closing, who would have otherwise been required to work under their respective contract work assignments and/or assigned summer schedules. E, procure, negotiate, and execute contracts for goods and services that are necessary to mitigate, prevent, restore, and repair damage caused to Weslaco Independent School District equipment, personal property, and facilities, or to protect the safety of Weslaco Independent School District students and staff, given that the emergency of COVID-19 and its potential spread constitutes an unforeseen emergency matter of urgent public necessity, and the delays posed by competitive procurement of contracts necessary to restore, replace, and/or repair equipment, personal property, and/or school facilities will prevent or substantially impair the conduct of classes or other essential school activities. And F, seek any necessary waivers from the Texas Education Agency without further action of the Board of Trustees regarding missed instructional days, low attendance, staff development days, or any matters related to the emergency closures as part of this resolution or other measures taken for the health and safety of students, staff, and the community. This first amended resolution shall remain in effect until August 10th, 2020, unless it is modified, amended, rescinded, or superseded by the Board of Trustees. And this will be adopted today, May 11th, 2020.
On the third paragraph, it says amends the resolution as of May 20th. Is that correct? On page 2?
Okay, so
the third paragraph.
It's not May 20th. We need to clarify the correct day when the first resolution. It was March 20th. It was Friday, March 20th.
Okay, just so I can be clear, is the premium pay still in effect? And if it is, when does it end? Or it's still in place until August, the premium pay?
Until we approve this resolution, then I will make the decision about premium pay. Premium pay will be ending this week as soon as the resolution is passed. Okay. Given that the stay-at-home order is no longer in place by the governor of Texas and/or the county judge, and that staff will follow the guidelines and protocols provided by the Texas Education Agency.
Okay, so right now there is still premium pay.
Yes, sir.
Everyone working is getting their regular paycheck plus any additional premium pay
for the hours worked during the 40 hours.
And this will end, you said more or less when?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
So then tomorrow, then on Wednesday, who goes back to work? Not county teachers, your hourly people and auxiliary. When do they go back to work?
So we have a list of when staff will go back to work, and I have it with me right now, a draft. So let me pull that piece of paper. So we will come back staggered for the most part for work that can, essential work has been identified by supervisors and administrators that needs to be done on site. There's some job categories where some work can still be done remotely. There's some work where we can't work remotely. The virtual environment doesn't allow it to work. So categories that we have coming back on Wednesday, we have several that's planned. Now, let me pull the documents. So we'll have field operations coming back on Wednesday, May 13th, 2020. District administrators, soft opening was today. We were here staggered today. We'll also have non-exempt hourly paraprofessionals reporting on Wednesday. Again, campus principals, department heads will be providing staggered schedules and will be listing the essential on-site versus a remote work.
On the staggered schedule, are we going to be consistent as far as 10 hours per week, 20 hours, 40 hours per week? Because I'm just concerned that if it's not equal, you're going to have some people that says, look, the one over here is working 10 hours a week and I'm working 30 hours a week. So are you going to be kind of making this kind of consistent with the hourly people?
We will be finalizing that tomorrow. We do know that there's some that will come in staggered 4 hours, for work that has to be completed at the job site, and then 4 hours, in the afternoon at home, and another group comes in the afternoon. So we will finalize the details tomorrow. Like I said, we do have the work here and then get the information out. I'd have to meet with cabinet again. We're waiting for the resolution to finalize everything, but I do understand your point of the hours being equitable.
Consistency.
Yeah.
One last question. Do we know how much we paid from March 13th, whatever date it was, to now on premium pay? Do we have an amount that we paid in additional money?
Do you have
Can you
the
put it on
amount?
Can you put it on the update?
Yeah, we can put it in the
Put it on
update.
the update.
We'll put it in the update.
All right, do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Dr. Rivera, okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Who is that, Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes.
All right. So we have a motion by Dr. Rivera, a second by Mr. Gonzalez to approve the first amended resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Weslaco Independent School District regarding measures for the protection of students, staff, and community arising out of COVID-19. Any other discussion?
Yes, Dr. Canales.
Dr. Canales, this is Erasmo Lopez. Dr. Canales, is this doing away with the hazard pay? Is that correct?
That is the hazard pay is what we consider the premium pay. Yes, Mr. Lopez.
Okay. Now, as far as employees will go strictly back to hourly as to hours attended, or will they still be paid as they were during this pandemic that they were getting paid for not showing up?
Okay, so they will still get paid. They'll still get paid. Even if they'll be staggered, they'll get paid for the full week.
Okay, that was my concern, that they would only get paid when they showed up. Will there be any repercussions if they do not show up at their allocated times when they're supposed to be there?
Yes, if they have, there will be. I mean, it's like we're returning to work staggered. So you need to report during that staggered time. Now, employees may get sick, and then if they get sick and they can't, report, we take leave like we usually do. If they have any special circumstances, administration has been asked to make sure to defer, consult with central office on those circumstances, but it's a soft opening. It's back to work with the safety guidelines from the Texas Education Agency and from the governor, staggered.
Okay. My business has continued to work through this pandemic, and we check our employees every morning at the job sites, and employees report also if an employee has a cough or something like that. Fortunately, nothing like that has come through, but will that happen at the district?
We do have Mrs. Susan Kaufman and Mr. Sergio Garcia that are working on the final for the screening tomorrow of employees.
Okay.
We're also asking the employees if they demonstrate any of those symptoms, and the number of symptoms has expanded on the list to advise their supervisors of that. And the other comment I do want to make, Mr. Lopez, and to all the Board of Trustees, we want to phase this in. So we will have some groups starting, and we can send you the back to work document, starting on Wednesday, and then phase in different groups. We have most of them identified, so that's what we'll be working on to finalize. And I do understand the need to screen, some type of screening for employees that do enter the work site. We'll have sanitation stations at all entrances. The team has done a great job in developing, Ms. Kaufman and Ms. Dr. Garcia, developing while it's not required, a 15-minute narrated presentation on COVID-safe work habits that we will require everybody coming back to watch, because if we practice the social distancing, the 6 feet apart, the washing the hands, we can help keep ourselves safe and everybody else safe as well.
Dr. Canales.
Yes.
Will we be providing masks for our employees?
Thank you, doctor.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay.
Will we be providing masks for our employees?
We're asking them to bring in the ones that they've been wearing. We do have some masks. As much as possible, people will be working in their spaces, in their offices. Let me give you an example. Today, there were several of us here staggered in the morning at central office, and we still met virtually. So we have some parameters that we put into place, some expectations that we continue working away from each other in our environments. When we get within 6 feet, that we put on the mask. We do have some masks. Masks have been hard to come by. So for those employees like our food service that will continue working and getting connected with the public at that work site because they're delivering the meals, we have masks for them. Because masks were a requirement, we're hoping that a lot of employees do have their masks. They can bring their own. If they're needed, we just need to know. And if we have them in stock, we will provide them. But we're going to ask everybody to bring their own.
Thank you.
Dr. Canales.
Yes.
Ms. Corcuera, how well equipped are we with disinfectant wipes and the Germex and those kind of things that we are not able to come across at any of the convenience stores, HEBs, etc.?
Yes, we're pretty well stocked. Coach Rios, Oscar Rios, I'm going to ask you to add in and share what you shared with us at Cabinet this morning.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Canales. Coach Cuellar, yes, we've been following up with our warehouse to check on our inventory, and we do have a pretty good inventory right now, sir. And there's also some in order that should be coming in anytime soon. So for the soft reopening, as Dr. Canales has been informing you all, we've been working as a team, and we have enough supplies to set up sanitary stations, sanitizing stations at every campus and every department. And that would include some disinfectant sprays, some hand sanitizer, and then also the disinfectant wipes. We will have them at every campus as we go back into the soft reopening. But we do have a pretty good supply, sir, and we're expecting more.
Okay.
All right, so we have a motion by Dr. Rivera, second by Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor, please say aye when I call you out your name, Mr. Kennedy.
Aye.
Dr. Jaime.
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez.
Aye.
Dr. Rivera.
Aye, but just one observation real quick. This plan, because summer begins after this week, there's 2 weeks left in May. So in
Correct.
June, you'll have a new plan for summer school and all the ones that work, because the vast majority will finish
Yes, sir.
at the end of May. So there is another plan coming up for August. I'm sorry, for June.
Yes, Dr. Canales said yes, there's a plan for coming up.
For June, okay.
I'm sorry, I was on mute.
So there'll be a new plan coming up after 2 weeks, because most everyone will be off after the end of May. Your vast majority will be will finish their work assignment.
Correct, sir. So for the summer work, there will be summer school, and some people may have applied for that and some have not. So we will tweak this one to address summer school in the summer month.
So aye.
So, all right, Dr. Rivera agreed. Mr. Lopez.
Aye.
Coach Cuellar.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right.
Dr. Canales, Coach, real quick before we move forward, Dr. Canales, I know most parents have to buy the hand sanitizers for their kids when they enroll, especially at the elementary campus. There are always 3 or 4 bottles. As we allow these teachers to go back to work, maybe they can look at some of their supplies and take it to the front office, so that when our employees our hourly employees are there working, they can use some of that sanitizer.
Okay. It is 7:40. It's closed meeting to discuss the following. A, personal matters. Number 1, employment of personnel. Number 2, resignations. Number 3, deliberation regarding the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee. Item B, deliberation regarding acquisition of real property. Item C, consultation with attorney regarding pending or contemplated litigation, settlement offer, a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the Weslaco ISD under the Texas Disciplinary Rules of Professional Conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, Texas Government Code 551.071. It is 7:41 and we'll go into executive session. All right, we're recoming back in the open meeting. It is 8:48. Dr. Canales, possible action if necessary on items discussed in closed meeting, the employment of personnel.
Board trustees, I'm recommending that you approve the recommendation of contracts for certified professional personnel as discussed in closed session.
I move to approve the contract.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Kennedy and a second by Mr. Gonzalez to approve the contracts. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 All right, good job, gentlemen. Resignations. Dr. Canales.
I believe that's a no action. Let's see, all of them are at the end of the contract year.
So no action. Okay. Item 3, deliberation regarding the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of public officer or employee. No action.
No action.
Okay. Deliberation regarding acquisition of real property.
I'm going to request that the board or recommend that the board make a motion to authorize the administration and legal counsel to proceed as discussed in the closed session with respect to the real property item.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Gonzalez, a second by Dr. Jaime to proceed as discussed in executive session. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item C, consultation with attorney regarding litigation, settlement offer, matter in which the duty of the attorney to the Weslaco ISD under the Texas Disciplinary Rules of Professional Conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with Chapter 551. Dr. Canales, do we have anything on there?
No action.
No action.
All right. Is that it for today, Dr. Canales?
That's it. There's one more part, Mr. Nieto, it's yours.
Which one's that? Adjournment? All right, 8:51 and we adjourn. Good job, gentlemen.
Have a great evening, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Stay safe and healthy.
Hey, say, Dr. Canales, can you send Ms. Escalona pick up the packet, please? To my office tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Y'all have a good evening.
Good job.
Hasta mañana.
Hasta mañana.
Good job, guys.
Good job.
See you later.
Thank you.
All right, Coach Cornell.